Welcome back to the channel, YouTube gang. I am your host, Major, and this is the Dawg House, where we devote our time, our energy, and especially our conversations surrounding them Georgia Bulldogs. And today, I'm asking the question, is Gunnar Stockton really a dog? This is an honest question too, man. I'm asking this question because we don't have a lot of intel on Gunnar Stockton. We can only refer back to two games, and that's the game against Notre Dame and against Texas. Overtime against Texas. So really, to be honest, if I was to grade him, I would probably give him a C+. It was a lot of plays that he left on the field, and to his defense, he didn't have anybody around him. He didn't have the receivers he should have had around him. I don't even feel like the offense was giving that push for ETN. It was a lot of variables around that season, last season, to say I can't really judge him based on what I've seen against Notre Dame. And for me, it's not enough experience to say whether he's going to be a great quarterback for the Georgia Bulldogs. But what I do see is them building this team around him that can kind of make up for some of the mistakes that he may make, in the future at with the Georgia Bulldogs. And Kirby doesn't give a lot of information either, you know what I mean? So we don't have a lot of intel on what's going on with Gunnar. Yeah, they're saying that he's the guy for the job, but that's what they're supposed to say. Who else is going to be the guy for the job? Nobody else has college football experience. You know what I mean? The only person that's got a little bit of college football experience is Gunnar Stockton. You know what I mean? Because technically Carson Beck was going to be the starter this year. If he would have stayed, he would have been the starter this year. But he transferred, so they had to go with the backup, right? So I don't think me personally, I've saw enough from Gunnar Stockton to say if he'll be a dog. Even with these two scrub games with Marshall and Austin Peay, this is not enough for me to be convinced right off. You know what I mean? This is Marshall and Austin Peay. Of course, we're supposed to beat them, but it's, to me, I guess I'm gonna grade them on how bad we beat them. If the score is like 45-0 or 45 to even 17 or something like that, then I probably would give him definitely a B+ or A. You know what I mean? Because that shows that if he throws for like 300 and something yards with like 3 or 4 touchdowns, I'm gonna be like, yeah, this is definitely a guy for Georgia. But not to say if he doesn't throw for that many yards that he's not the guy. I just know for a fact, I'll know for a fact against Marshall and Austin Peay, if he run the scoreboard up against those guys, I'll know for a fact that he's definitely the guy for the job. And like I always say, I like to roll with the punches of the coaching staff, and Kirby Smart says he's the guy, Bobo says he's the guy, so I'm a roll with that. But I don't have enough intel for myself, so that's why this is the biggest question. I think he is the biggest question for the Georgia Bulldogs. The defense, normally 9 times out of 10, we don't even have to worry about them. We already know Glenn Schumann got that on lock over there, plus Kirby Smart, you know what I'm saying? And at the same time, most of the 4- and 5-star guys coming from the defense side of the ball, so we typically don't have to worry about the defense. And the offense, I ain't even gonna lie, I'm not even worried about the offense this season, not really at all. With the guys that we have, Zachariah Branch, Noah Thomas, you know what I'm saying, Dylan Bell, Kobe Young, London Humphreys, you still got Taylor, CJ Wilder, in case one of those guys get hurt, to come in and help out. Man, we have an offense, a decent offense, so I'm not even worried about the offense. I'm more so worried about Gunnar Stockton's decision making, and is he able to run this team as the captain? That's the biggest question mark, I feel like. As of today, that is the biggest question mark when it comes to the Georgia Bulldogs. And like I say, there's really very little intel about what's really going on. You have a few insiders, that'll come out and say this or say that, but the media not being able to come into these fall scrimmages, it's very hard to tell if Gunnar is going to be a dog. But like I say, man, I'm down for whatever that the coaching staff is doing as far as Kirby Smart and Mike Bobo running this offense. And if they say he's the guy, then I gotta roll with that. You know what I mean? So y'all let me know down in the comments section, man. Do y'all feel like Gunnar Stockton is really a dog? I don't know. We're gonna have to see when the season starts, but y'all already know what time it is, man. I'm your host, Major, and this is the Dawg House, and we out, baby. Go Dogs.